Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install this rear tail hugger on the 2017 to 2022 Gsxr 1000. Now upon looking at it, this one is made by Puig. It's a company from Barcelona, Spain. Alright, so let's all go over to the bench and let me show you all the tools that you're going to need and pretty much the extra that I'm actually going to do on this rear tail hugger that's going to kind of set me apart from the rest, and hopefully it sets you guys apart from the rest as well. But here is the brand. It's called Puig. I'm gonna guess that I'm pronouncing it right. I'll have a link in the description below of this video of this particular one if you like to purchase the same exact one as I did. All right, so now the reason that the reason that I chose this one is because of the, well, a little bit of the design. I do like the little wings that it has here, and it also says 1000R on it. But another thing is that I'm gonna customize it a little bit for my bike, as my bike is black and red, and this is going to be black and red as well. What I'm gonna do actually now, I'm going to show you the process in this video, so if you guys wanted to do the same, you can, and if not, and you just want to just install this the way it is right now, you could just go ahead and skip over to the time that you see down below, and that's going to get you straight to the, you know, just the installation process of this tail hugger. But if you wanted to stick around, the pieces that we're going to be painting will be these little silver pieces right here, and you can make it any color you want. You could make it, you know, red, blue, green, you know, purple, customize it how you want. You could also, you know, if you want to wrap this location, you know, you could also, you know, wrap it in a carbon fiber or a forged carbon, and, you know, kind of cut out the little numbers and everything. So the paint I'm going to be using is going to be this guy. It's a stained glass cranberry red. Now the reason I'm using the stained glass is because it's kind of a transparent red, and I do want the silver to kind of pop to the back, so it kind of gives it kind of almost like a candy apple kind of red. So that's the reason behind that. Okay, so to do this process, what we're gonna be doing is that when I spray paint it, I don't want the spray paint to show on the black, you know, because there's actually the black plastic underneath that. And if you kind of look in here, you could actually see it's the metal piece, and then there's black plastic, and that's why you see the black number there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, and you're gonna, you know, what you want to do is just kind of grab any cardboard. I happen to have this tank grip cardboard. I already bought the stuff and I already installed it, guys, but don't worry, not leaving you guys in the dark. I do have a video of how to install the tank grips on your tank. But anyhow, just get a piece of cardboard. It could be this, it could be soda pop cardboard. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it over here, and I'm gonna get a pen or marker and kind of just start, you know, cutting it. That way when I put it in here, I can kind of show you a little bit. We're going to be sliding this on the inside, and that's going to cover that black part. Besides that, we're going to be using our painter's tape, and we're going to be masking off the rest of this area because we definitely don't want any of the red spray paint to, you know, hit the plastic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys do the same, and then once we get ready for paint, I will show you what to do next. Alright guys, I wanted to show you this, a little bit of a trick, because it does get really tight as you get the cardboard into this area. So what I did is that I got, as you can see, I still have it here so I can show you guys, I got a thin screwdriver, and I just kind of pushed it in between the plastic right here and the metal. You don't want to go too crazy because you don't want to damage anything. So just put it in there to kind of separate the plastic a little bit from the metal, so you could slide this in all the way up to where you need it to be. Once you have it slid in, then you can just go ahead and pull your screwdriver out, and there you go. Now it's in there. And then once we're done, we could just pull the paper out. If we have any trouble, we could just put the screwdriver in there and pull it out. Okay, everything is all taped up now. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we need to make sure that these silver bits are very clean. Also wanted to note that on this side, you do have the name of the company, the Puig sign. It's up to you if you want to keep it like that, or if you wanted to keep that to be shown. Just get a little bit of tape, and then just cut a little square piece out and put it there. Or if you don't want to use any more tape, you just get like a piece of the cardboard, cut a little square with a little like piece for you to grab like this, if you have it like that. You see a little angle so you could actually pull it out. So I'll probably do the cardboard piece and just shove it in there so that we could keep the brand on there. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and get a clean piece of paper, and we're going to get some isopropyl alcohol, and we're just going to wipe down the silver parts of the tail hugger. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of want to wipe it down, you know, make sure that it's kind of like it's very clean and free of any fingerprints, dirt, debris, and whatnot. So obviously you could see it's fairly clean because I actually just took it out of the package. All right, I'm also going to make sure that I wipe down the edges here, because I'm also going to paint this area over here. As over here, you're going to see more, you know, from a low point. So I want to make it all colored. Over here, not so much, because it's going to be pointed towards the bike, so people may not see that area as often as the back end. So, all right, you guys do the same, and I'm just going to go ahead and actually cover this part up, and then we'll get to the painting process. Okay, as you can see, I have the little piece of cardboard right there with me for me to be able to pull it right out when I'm done painting. Okay, so next we're going to do is now we're going to start the painting process. So this, you know, the more coats you put, the darker it's going to be. So I can't really tell you how, you know, how many coats you want to do. You're just going to spray paint it until the desired color you reach. So if you spray one coat and you're satisfied with the lightness of the color and everything, then just go with one coat on both sides. But if you want it just a little bit more darker, wait for it to dry. I would say probably give it a minute and then spray another coat, and then just keep on going until you're satisfied with the shade and I would say the darkness or lightness of the color. What you want to do is you want to spray in a sweeping motion. So I would say hold it approximately 6 to 8 inches away from the surface, and just spray in a sweeping motion. So every time you spray, press it down, spray, let go, press it down, spray. So that's what you're going to be doing. So just a few here, and then give it and then maybe probably over here, right there, and then right over there, you know, and then let it sit and then see how you like it, and just repeat the process. Alrighty guys, so I think I sprayed around, I would say 5 to 6 coats. I am very satisfied with the shade of the color. As you can see, it looks really good. Also did over here, and on the sides I didn't do that many coats because it looks like it didn't need that many coats for the sides. Alright, so while the paint is still wet, will be a good time right now to actually remove all of the tape, because if you let it dry, it could be that the paint may have grabbed on an area, whatever. Once you peel the tape off, it could actually pull the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and start to take all the masking tape off, and then we'll see how the product looks once I'm all done. Alright, so you guys do the same. Hopefully yours came out really good with a thumbs up on your color that you chose. Alrighty guys, everything came off. Now the reason I had chuckled there for a little bit is just because when I was removing this piece right here, I had to wiggle it because I was afraid that with the pressure and everything that it would just rip and I would be stuck with this piece in there. So, and it's also pretty cool that it actually stenciled the color. Anyway, so that was just a minor little thing. Just so other than that, it's looking good there. It's looking good there. I am super satisfied with the way this came out. And now for sure, you do have a nice custom one of one, pretty much, unless everybody copies this video. As of right now, it's a one of one, pretty much color design, really. All right, guys, so now that this is already out like this, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit more time to dry as it's still freshly painted. So while that's drying, let's go ahead and go over to the bike and let's start installing the other brackets that we're gonna need to install this piece, because it is a few pieces here. So let me move this off to the side. So you're going to notice that it's going to come with another chain guard. Now this one is actually made out of aluminum, so that's pretty cool. Alrighty, so first things first, what we need to do is we need to remove our heel guard. It's going to be a 3mm Allen key, and it's going to be these 2 screws here. Once we remove the heel guard, there's going to be 2 screws for the chain guard, and that's going to be with a 5mm Allen key. So it'll be one over here and one right back here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you guys do the same. Alright, now that we got all the screws and everything off of the chain guard and the heel guard, as you can see right there. Now note the position of the screws, as as you can see the screw right over here. This has like a little shorter diameter piece right here that actually goes towards the back, compared to the one in the front, which is a little bit longer. So we can put them side by side so you guys can see. There we go. So the longer one, make sure that you remember that goes to the front, and the little short one goes toward the back. Alright, so I'm going to put that to the side over here. Okay, now that we got all that out, we could just go ahead and not remove the screw, because there is a little pop, little push pin right here on the inside. Let me see if I could even show you guys the little push pin. Let's go a little bit mobile here. And right there, you can see it. There is the push pin right there. So just push it in with the screwdriver and it should pop right out. There's actually another screw that is going to be hard for me to show you, but I'm going to try my best. It's actually right by the chain. So if you see my tool right over there, it's right on the bolt, which is right by the chain. Now apparently, I guess we're supposed to remove the whole back tire, but I figure I tried to show you this process without removing that back tire in case you're not comfortable on removing the tire. So it still can be done, except you're gonna need to kind of wiggle and maneuver putting your wrench. So hopefully you can see my my tool right there. It's a 5mm Allen key that's actually over there, and you have to it's kind of hard to show you on this side. So if I were to show you right here, you're actually able to, with the curvature of the sprocket, you could actually, you know, put your tool through the tooth and actually get access to that bolt that's back there. So while I go ahead and try to get this bolt out, if I could get it done, that means you can get it done and no need to remove the tire. If I cannot get it done, then we're gonna have to go the other way on actually removing the tire. And see, with my camera in my way, I'm not sure if I could even show. Oh, yep, I think I got it. All right, get over there. And there it is. There is that bolt. Little tricky, but managed to get it out. Here it is. Now, let's hopefully we could remove the chain guard. Let's see. Oh, thank goodness. All right, let me, this seems to be a lot of shot up grease in there. All right, so we'll just push it in through that way. And there we go. We finally got it out. And holy moly, there's actually a lot of grease in there. Look at that. All right, good to know. All right, so now that we finally got the chain guard off, it's actually not a bad looking chain guard, I must say. Looks pretty nice. All right, so now that we already removed that, let's go ahead, let's grab our new chain guard. And at this point, you wanna go ahead and get some blue thread lock so we could actually put on the bolts. So to get the chain guard in here without obviously removing the tire, we have our chain guard here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go towards the top of the wheel and we're gonna slide it in through that way. All right. So we're just gonna go ahead and slide in through here. So I could show you that we don't need to remove the wheel to do this. All right, let's just maneuver it. All right, and there we go. So there you go. As you guys could see, I was able to do it. So as you can see, there is a hole where we have to put the screw right back into this spot over here. All right, so right now we're gonna go ahead and put some thread lock on all the screws. So thread lock on the screw that's gonna go towards the front here, some thread lock on the screw that's gonna go right over here, and then obviously some thread lock on the screw that's gonna go in the back, which is gonna be the most trickiest to get on. But I think once we put it on there finger tight, I think we should be able to tighten it the rest with the tool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you guys do the same. And then also, before I forget, remember that little push pin? This guy right here that we had removed off the original? Well, there's actually a tab from this bracket. All right, so you can see the hole, and then the hole in the background right there. Right there, there's a hole on the metal, on the swing arm, and on the bracket. So just go ahead and put your push pin. So to reset the push pin, you have to push the pin out. So what I normally do is just grab it here, obviously it's been pushed in, and just push it in through the floor, and it's gonna pop and reset right there. So now that it's reset, we could go ahead and push it back in and then just push the little pin in and that'll lock it in place. Alrighty, so the kit actually comes with screws. I kind of laid them out in an order that they're supposed to be going on for the chain guard. Alright, so we have a bracket here and that's gonna go on the other side. I'll show you how to get to that. We got these 3 screws and they actually have little caps that go on top of the screws. We have the grommets and these little spacer that goes in the middle of the grommets. We got a small screw with a spacer that's gonna go towards the back end of the chain guard, and then we got this. I don't know why they didn't give us a matching bolt. You know, this one is just like a hex style, which is gonna be a 10mm socket to install this guy. It's up to you if you want to install your original screws back in. I tried doing it, but it looks like that the hole of where the chain guard is gonna be, I mean, you could really tighten it, but it could be a chance that it could slip down or whatnot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and install with this guy because there is no like how this one is. So you can see there's something on this screw here that won't allow it to slide all the way through. Compared to this one, there's nothing there. So it'll actually slide a little bit better onto the chain guard. So I'm just going to go ahead and install it with this bolt. May change my mind later on, but I'm just going to show you with that bolt. And for the originals, I'm going to go ahead and put it off to the side. Okay, so it's going to be 10 millimeter hex for this one socket, and then this little guy is going to be a 4 millimeter Allen key. So this one is actually going to go, we're going to put a little bit of a thread lock on it, and this one's going to go right over here. And then this little guy right here with the spacer, you have to put the spacer on there first, and then we're going to put some thread lock, and this one is going to go in that really hard area, which is going to be right back here, that we're going to have to go through the other end to actually get this guy on there. So luckily it's not that much thread, so it shouldn't be that hard to actually install it back on there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do all that. You guys do the same, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alrighty guys, I'm not going to lie, that was actually a little bit of a pain in the rear end. And the only reason is because of that screw back here. So hopefully what you guys did as well, if you guys found it a little bit of a pain, was to not put the screw here first, but to put this one back here first, because that gave you a little bit of wiggle room to go up and down. And then once you got that one tightened, then to go ahead and put the screw over here and tighten this guy down. Now it's pretty sturdy on there. Okay, so next what we need to do is we need to go ahead and put these little rubber grommets on the rear fender cover. Alright guys, I just figured I'd put the tripod on the bench. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to put these rubber grommets into these holes. As you can see, there is a little channel on the circle part, and that's going to go inside there. So you could either put it through the back, you're just going to have to squeeze this part and then just put it through here and then just get it on there. So there's one here on this side, there is one here on this side, and then there's one on this side. So you guys do the same. The rubber should be fairly flexible and easy to get it in there. They're not stiff. Alright, so you guys do this and make sure you put it in all three of those holes. Okay, I already got all the rubber grommets on there. As you can see right there, there is one, here is two, and here is the third one. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to put that small bracket onto the other side of the bike. So let's go over there and do that. Alright, so here's the bracket that I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead, grab that bracket. We don't need any screws right now, and these are going to go inside the little rubber grommet. So let's get this little bracket installed on the other side. Now before I actually install this metal bracket onto the bike on the other side, I'm actually going to spray paint it black. Now, nothing wrong with silver, but everything on my bike is black, so I'm going to go ahead and paint this guy black. The paint I'm going to use for this is going to be this guy right here, the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Paint and Primer. It's a satin black. Nothing shiny, and it works really good for metal. So I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this guy. Probably give it just a few coats, nothing crazy, on this side and on that side, and then I'm going to install it on the bike, and I'll show you how. Alright, here is my new piece. As you can see, my hands are black as well, since I spray painted it off my hand. Alright, so now that the piece is done, I'm going to go ahead and put it off the sides, just get dry just a little bit more. And while that's drying, I need to show you that we need to get to this other screw, which is a little bit on a tight spot, but not too bad. What we need to do, we need the tool that we're going to need is going to be an 8mm open end wrench, or if you happen to have this part of the wrench where it actually has like a ratchety part, which actually would actually help really good in this little situation. Alright, so let me show you where the bolt is on this side of the bike. If I freeze frame it right there, that's going to be the bolt that we need to loosen up and take out right over there. 8mm open end wrench. Let's go ahead and get that guy removed. Once we have it removed, we're going to put the bracket in its place and then tighten it back up, put a little bit of thread lock on it, and that'll be it for that. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how the end result looks like. Alrighty guys, hopefully I'm doing a pretty decent job of keeping that area lit over there so you guys can see what I'm kind of doing. Alright, so now that we got the screw already loosened and taken out, we're going to be installing our bracket. Now the bracket is going to go in. Let me zoom out so you guys can see the bracket on the way it's going to go in. So here is the back end of the bracket. Kind of holding it because it's still kind of drying. And this is how we're going to install. We're going to install with the little L shape going towards us. And the block is going to go towards the inside of the tire. We're going to have it flush sticking outside towards the exhaust. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna put this bracket in, and the bracket that's already on the bike over there is gonna sandwich this one against the swing arm. I already have put the thread lock on the bolt. As you can see, here's the thread lock. Sorry for the unfocused images. All right guys, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try to do my best on showing you guys. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you guys could see it, and hopefully it focuses as I'm doing it. All right, so you're gonna notice that there is a little hump right here. So the bracket's gonna go here, and well, it's gonna be kind of tricky for me to do it because the camera's in my way for me to put the nut. So bracket first, and then this other bracket that's from the bike is gonna go, this bracket right here is gonna go on this part of the thing. Then you're gonna put the screw in and tighten everything down. Alrighty, and there is the bracket. Upon tightening up the bracket with the bolt right there, I noticed that there was like a little slot where the original bracket went, and so that's where this one went, and that's how I was able to get the proper angle of how this one goes on. All right, so now that that one is in, let me see, get another shot right there, trying to keep the light on it so you guys can see it. All right, so now that part is done. Now let's go ahead and grab our tail hugger cover. That's gonna go right here. Okay, next what we're gonna do is we are going to grab these little spacer guys. There should be 3 in your kit. Now these are gonna go inside of the rubber grommet. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this so you guys can see. Little spacer, and it just kind of goes inside. Let's go ahead and just press it in there. There we go. That's it. That's how that one looks. So go ahead and put the rest on for that side, and on the other side is here as well. Alrighty guys, we are almost done. So we have 3 bolts left, and that's going to correspond for the 3 rubber grommets that we just put those spacers in. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of thread lock on each one of these bolts, and then we're going to go over to the bike and finally install the cover. Alright, here we are. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's put our cover on, and all of the mounting points should line up. Oh yeah, I kind of also forgot to show you guys the underneath side of this cover as well, if you guys were kind of interested or wondering what it looked like from the back or the underneath side of it. Go ahead and flip this over. I don't want to scratch the new paint that I just did. So there's the vents right there. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And also I wanted to note that if you look on the rear swing arm, there's these welds on the swing arm, and the Puig people actually took that into consideration and actually cut a little bit of the plastic over here on both ends to actually accommodate and match those the welds. So there's like 2 little humps there on the plastic itself, which I thought was pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this on there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the screws in. So it'll be 1 screw here, and then 1 on the other side. Last but not least, don't forget to put your heel guard back on. Put a little bit of thread lock, but I think the thread lock's still on there. It was pretty thick, so I'm just going to leave it as is for now, as I do have a future video coming up with about these heel guards. But you guys go ahead and put some thread lock on yours and then install it right back on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you guys do the same. Totally forgot to tell you guys about the caps. Now these caps actually go over the bolt, so let me go ahead and put them on so you guys could see on how they look like. It kind of gives that finishing touch of the screws, so they don't look like they're screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this one in. All right, there we go. See, now it's a nice smooth look, so it doesn't look like a screw. So just go ahead and put these on. They're just, you know, pressed in, nothing too fancy about them, but they do complete the look of it, and they look more factory, I would say, once you got them on there. All right, so that's pretty much it. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to show you that. Alrighty, and that's pretty much it. Now it looks fantastic. Actually, it looks so good, especially with the red. Now that I've already painted that area, definitely goes with the bike, as you can see with the red accents that I have right here, and the red over here on the side of the fairings of the bike. Definitely adds you know, something different, you know, compared to all the other rear tire huggers out there. So definitely really cool. Let's go ahead and look to the back, and then this part looks pretty cool too, because it has like little points, almost like a devilish kind of look. And there is plenty of space back here for the tire, so you don't have to worry about the tire, you know, hitting the plastic. and it's also very secure on there, so you don't have to worry about it kind of flopping around, as it does have the 3 access points that it's been, you know, screwed down to. The one right over here on this side, obviously, the back end, and over there. Looking good on this side as well. Can't wait to see how it's going to look like in the sun. I think with that silver backing, it's definitely going to give that color a little bit of a pop to it. And then when you look right there, the 1000R looking so good. Alright, so that pretty much concludes this installation. If you guys enjoyed it, please smash that like button. If you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you guys are up to date with my latest uploads. Also, I have a new icon on the bottom of this video that has a heart with a $sign. If you guys click on it, you guys could show your support for my channel, and any contribution you guys do for my channel will be greatly appreciated. Again, I appreciate all you guys for watching and taking time to watch my videos, all the DIY stuff. And again, as I get more things in for this bike or even the R3, I'll show you how to install those parts. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you guys are up to date with my latest uploads. And thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Take care.